Hi guys, good evening. So in the last session, we were going with a transparent firewall lab, okay? And this was the scenario, okay? That will have an FTD and we'll deploy it in the transparent mode, okay? I missed yesterday's class. I went through the video. I have one doubt in real time. In DC, we are using firewall as F2. What is the use difference between using a firewall as L2 and instead of firewall as L3? See, let's say you already have a network. Okay, you already have a network running. This is the scenario we were considering, that you already have this is your organization network here. Okay. We are considering that this is the network we are having. In DC, we can down the distribution core device on one side and deploy the firewall and make it up and deploy another one. Down the distribution core device on one side and then deploy the firewall and make it up and deploy another one. This will avoid that. So see, it will depend from scenario to scenario and company to company, right? Now all the companies are not data centers only, correct? So
In our PC, we are using this kind of setup in some data centers. So why they are using like this?
see,
That's the doubt.
based on L2 is how like it is kind of segregating. Okay, we know that with the firewall, with the help of firewall, we can segregate two different. You can say like two different networks, or you can say like two different departments. Okay, or you can say like if you are a data center and if you're providing service to your clients, so you can uh, segregate the two different data servers of the clients. Okay, two different clients you can segregate. And another reason, other than data center, also there are many places where this thing will be used. Okay. Now,
Okay.
deploying the firewall as L2 is beneficial. How? That first of all, here, if you deploy the firewall as L3, okay, what we generally do is we create a rule that is going to block by default all the traffic. Correct? Then what you have to do? You have to allow all the traffic if you want to allow the communication, and then you can block specific application. But when you are deploying it as L2, so automatically this thing will be done. If you are deploying it as L2, then what will happen? That already your firewall is allowing all the traffic. Now, whatever the applications, specific applications you want to block, only those applications you will block. And as an L3, firewall is by default blocking everything. Specific applications you will allow. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And if you are deploying as a L3, in the trace it will show. If you are deploying as a L2, how we can find the firewall is in between the path?
sorry.
If we are deploying firewall as a L3, if
Mm-hmm.
you are doing the trace from source to destination, we can find that firewall in between that.
Yes,
But
yes.
if you are deploying as a L2, it will
Mm-hmm.
show in the press route path. I think it will not show.
No, it will not.
So how we can find the firewall is in the path?
So how you can find, you will deploy rules here, right? In the firewall.
Ah,
And
yes.
see, like what is the scenario here we are considering is that if PC1 will try to communicate anything on the internet, so initially the traffic will pass directly, correct?
Yeah.
Initially, the traffic will go directly from the PC to the outside as per switch scam table. Okay.
Yes.
But let's say once my traffic will start passing through the firewall. So according to the block
Mhm.
all traffic rule, what will happen? Firewall will block all traffic. Just for me.
Yes.
Whatever rule you will create, according to that, my firewall will start blocking the traffic. I'll come to know that, okay, my firewall is in action. Then I can go and create a rule on this firewall. So it is just nothing but you just don't want downtime in the network, and you don't want to bring down your network. That is all you want with the help of transparent firewall. Okay. Or else you can go and deploy it as a L3 also. If you are
Mhm.
if you are able to afford the downtime, you can directly deploy it as L3. No need of L2 also.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So this was the scenario we were considering. But yesterday, what was the problem? That this FTD wasn't integrating with the FMC. Okay, we tried 3, 4 times, but it wasn't integrating. So what I have done today, I have already integrated our FTD with the FMC. Whatever the steps we were using yesterday, same steps were there, no changes at all. Okay, but see, in 2, 3 labs, this thing you will face. One is your HA lab, second is your transparent firewall lab, and third lab is your site-to-site VPN lab. When you will perform these labs, so this is the issue you are going to face. Sometimes one firewall will add, another one will not add. Okay, like in the Eve, it will show you some sort of communication issue, and then first of all, the device will get added, and in some time, the device will be unregistered automatically. Okay, so what I have done is I have added the FPD in the FMC. That means integration is already done. So today, what we will do is we are going to go and see transparent mode already configured, because if you have not configured transparent mode, and let's say your firewall is in routed mode, my FTD is in routed mode. Okay, and then I integrate. Okay, if I integrate FTD with FMC. Okay, after this, if I try that, okay, now what I'll do is I'll go and change the mode. So this is not allowed. Okay, it's not allowed. If you have a manager configured, you cannot change the mode of a firewall. From transparent to routed, we cannot change. Or routed to transparent also, we cannot change. Okay. So first of all, you have to change the mode of your firewall. You have to deploy your firewall in the transparent mode. Then after, what you will do, you will integrate your FTD with the FMC. Okay. These are the things you're going to do. Once it is integrated, furthermore, what we have to do, we just have to go and create the bridge virtual interface. We will create the bridge virtual interface. Once this bridge virtual interface will be created, after that, we have to go and create these VLANs in the switches. Okay. We have to go and create these VLANs in the switches. Once we'll do this, your traffic will start passing through the firewall. Once your traffic will start passing through the firewall, then we can start applying policies. Okay. So now let's access the lab. So I have integrated the FTDs for 2 different labs. One is site-to-site VPN and transparent firewall lab. For both of the labs, I have already added, so that in the next lab, we will not face any problem. Let's bring up that and see. VPN transparent. Okay, this is our lab. Let me start all the devices. We have to verify. So FMC is also coming up. Then let's take access of inside R1. Then outside R1. Then we have V3. Then we'll take access of this switch. And this PC we don't really require. Because management PC is also connected to the management cloud here. Okay. From where the FMC will become. FTD is almost off. It's 0, 1, 2, 3. So right now you can see that if I say to firewall, so firewall mode is what? Transparent. Okay. And if I check the managers, so managers, so registration is also complete. FMC is up. Let's go with 10, 60. Services are starting here. FPD is up. Let me bring up these services. Interface 0 no shut. This is the inside R1. Interface 0 Yep. interface 2050. So right now I can see that I'm having communication. Okay. If I say print, and I'm having communication with the outside. Okay, right now communication is there from inside R1 to outside R1. Why? Because the traffic is passing directly via the switch and the gateway. Right now my traffic is not passing via the FTD. Okay. So once these processes will be started, usually I'm adding first is 0, 1, 2, 3. So if I go to the devices, here you will find 3 devices. This is our FTD transparent. Then these two FTD site 1 and site 2, these are for the next step, which is for site to site VPN. Okay. So FTD. Okay. Now this is our firewall, right? Let's click on edit. Firewall mode, we have verified that firewall mode is transparent. You can also verify this thing here. Okay, on the firewall itself, I have verified that my firewall mode right now is transparent. And here also you can verify that the mode of the firewall is transparent on. Okay, now let me just go here. In the add interface, if I click, I get an option for bridge group interface. Okay, so I'll click on the bridge group interface. Now ID I have to give, so let's say ID number 1 I'm using here. And what are the interfaces that are member of this bridge group? So I have two interfaces, V0 by 1, V0 by 0. Okay, these are the two interfaces member of my bridge group. So V0 by 0, V0 by 1. These are the two interfaces member. IP address we will assign to the bridge group. So IP address will assign 10.1.1.50. So that is 10.1.1.50. Then the area value /94. Okay, click on OK. This is the bridge group virtual interface created here. Okay, save it. Then after deploy it. Now, once we configure this, we also have to mention which interface is inside and which interface is outside. So as per our topology, I will consider V0 by 1 is inside and V0 by 0 is outside. Okay. Wait for the deployment. The deployment is going on. And you can define here that just click on this edit key and here name. So name of the interface is inside. I want to enable the interface security zone. So here the zone is what inside. Okay. object which already exists. So let me say me and I will name it inside zone for transparent. So inside T. Okay. Here we don't have to assign any IP address and we don't even have the option also. IPv6 option is there. That is only for either UL64 or link local, but we cannot assign an IPv4. Then I'll say, okay, this is my inside interface term. Same way, enable it. This is my outside interface. And zone I say outside transparent. Okay, say okay. Done. Save this configuration. This deployment is already in progress. Done. Let me start another deployment. Deploy. Now here in the FTD, I can verify interface IP. Indeed. Okay. So you can see my BVI1 interface is there and IP address here is 10.1.150 and interface is up, protocol is also up. Okay. And since these two interfaces, V0 by 0 and 0 by 1, these are members, so they are also reflecting the same IP address. But right now, these two interfaces, they are administratively down. Okay. So I have defined inside and outside zone, and then I have enabled the interfaces. So now we should be able to see here. Okay, once this deployment is complete, so these two interfaces will also come up. Now, so far, still my traffic is not passing via the firewall. Okay, so I can test the ping. Still, I'm able to see. After deployment is done. So now we can verify that these two interfaces, they should be upright now. So both the interfaces are up. So we have configured our FTD side. Now, if I want that my traffic should pass via the FTD, what I have to do? I have to go and create these VLANs. So Z0 by 2, okay, I think I have signed the wrong. Okay, that's fine. So Z0 by, let me mention here what I have done. Otherwise, I have to go and change the deployment. See, in the switch, V0 by 0, okay, FTD interfaces, V0 by 0 is inside, and V0 by 1 is outside. Okay. Then according to this, if V0 by 0, I'm considering as I'm considering F3 V0 by 0 as inside. That means which interface V0 by 0 will be in VLAN 10, okay, as well as V0 by 2 will be in VLAN 10, and your interface V0 by 1 as well as V0 by 3, they will be in the VLAN 5. Okay, this is how it's going to be. Okay, so this side, the interface that is showing this side, this will be a part of VLAN 10 and it is inside interface, and this interface V0 by 1. Let me just change the visibility here. If I do something like this, now it's saying it. So now this will look like what will happen. Here, video rating, and this is verification about F3. So Z0 by 0 of F3 inside, Z0 by 1 of F3 is outside. Okay. Thereafter, switch interface Z0 by 0 belonging to VLAN 10. So 0 and 2 to the VLAN 10, 1 and 3 in the VLAN 20. Okay. So now let's go and create the VLANs in the switch. So right now, without creating the VLANs, I can see that I'm able to ping here. And in the switch, if I check the cam table, my address table. So these are the two entries right now I'm having, that through the Z0 by 2 interface, switch is learning this MAC address 55. Let me copy this and paste it here. This is the MAC address. Which switch is learning via the interface Z0 by 2. And through the Z0 by 3, the switch is learning which MAC address? Switch is learning the 6 MAC address. Now, once I go and create the VLANs in the switch, so let's say VLAN 10 inside VLAN 20 image outside VLAN. Interface range V0 by 0 as well as Z0 by 2. With code access VLAN 10. Interface range Z0 1 as well as Z0 by 2. With code access VLAN 10. Now we can check do show VLAN B. So interfaces are added to the relevant VLANs. Now let me try to ping from here. So now you can see I'm not able to ping. I'm not able to ping from inside to outside. Okay, why? Because of my F3 rule. If you see in the F3, what is the policy I have configured here? My policy I have configured is block all traffic. And under this block all traffic policy, okay, let me see if I have any rule. So right now there is no rule. That's why the traffic is being dropped. So what I'll do is I'll go and add a rule here. Okay. So before this, let me do one thing more. Access control. One is I'll change the name and I'll create a new policy for site-to-site VPN policy. So this will be completely segregated. these two firewalls will use this policy. Save it. So right now this policy is targeting only one device. Okay. Now see here, in this policy, I don't have any rule. Okay. So I'll create a rule and let's say I want to allow all the traffic from where to where? From inside zone to the outside transparent zone. These are for the transparent. Okay. So I want to allow all the traffic. Okay. Network, if you want to specify, so I can say from my inside network as source and outside network as destination. Okay. Then application URL, whatever the filtering you want to apply, those things you can apply. Then you can go for login. You go the login, save it, deploy it. Now I want to deploy it right now in the FTD only. That is transparent FTD. And then click on deploy. Now deployment is going on. You can verify that FTD transparent deployment is going on. Once this deployment will complete, then you will understand that the firewall has allowed the traffic. Now, now once this deployment is done, now if I check, see, I'm able to take. So that means right now my traffic is passing via the firewall. Another thing what we can do is I can create a rule here. Okay, I can add a rule here that I don't want to allow ICMP. Okay, let's say I would say deny ICMP, and what I want to do, I want to block it. Okay, then after from where to where, inside to outside, and the ports or application that I'm looking for ICMP. This is my application that I am willing to block. From where to where? My inside network to outside network. Zones are done. Networks are done. ICMP defined. Enable the login. Done. Save it and deploy it. Activate transparent. Deployment is going on. Done. Now if I try to pick, nothing change. See, am I able to pick? No, right? So that means now whatever the way I want to filter my traffic, what I want to allow, what I don't want to allow, that all depends. Okay, if I want, I can try telnet. So you can see telnet access like that. From the ICMP I have blocked, so ICMP is blocked. Is it clear? Yes or no? How you will deploy your firewall as a LT. Okay. So this is your transparent firewall lab. Okay. Only two steps are there. What are the steps? Step number one, change your firewall mode to transparent. Okay. Step number two, integrate your firewall with the FMC. Step number three, create, create the bridge group virtual interface. Okay. And this interface members will be your whatever the interface you are connecting. Then after on these interfaces, define inside and outside one. Okay. And after that, create the VLANs. VLAN 10 and VLAN 20 in the switch, and your transparent firewall configuration is done. Okay. So one thing is that when you deploy it in the transparent mode, you don't have to change your L3 device. If you don't have to change your L3 device, you don't have to worry about any configurations that you have to do again in your firewall. Okay, whatever the configurations are available in your L3 those configurations, you don't have to do it in the F3D now. You just need to filter that. That's it. Okay, as a filtering device, you can use it, and your L3 device, which is already present and handling all the VPN connections and everything, so that your device can keep on handling. Is that clear? Okay. So this was your transparent firewall. Now after this, we have site-to-site VPN configuration. Next lab is the lab diagram itself. All the devices. close this lab. Then we have IPsec site-to-site VPN. Now this is our site-to-site VPN lab. Okay. So again, these two FTDs, site 1 and site 2, I have already integrated them with the FTC. Okay. 23rd new NJ. Yes, I will take it. The NGS. Yeah. All right. So site-to-site VPN. So can anybody tell me why you use VPN? Why you use site-to-site VPN? Secure communication through the internet. So your site-to-site VPN is also known as LAN-to-LAN VPN. See, understand this scenario. Let's say from this PC, site 1 client 10.1.1.1, I want to ping to 10.2.2.2. Can I ping if I don't have a VPN? So what will happen when I will generate the traffic here? Okay, let me show you according to the diagram. So when this guy will try to ping the 10.2.2.2, so we will have source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port. What will be the source IP? 10.1, destination IP 10.2, source port will be some random value, destination port. So on which port you are connecting, or it can be like let's say for example, just for an example, we are considering 80, or else it can be whatever the protocol. If you are using ICMP, then there will be no port stuff and all. Now see here, this packet will travel from site 1 to the FTD. FTD will have a default route towards the internet. Okay, so FTD will forward it to the internet. Internet will check that okay, 10.2, this is a private network. Does your ISP have a route for the private network? Does ISP have a route for the private network? No. So what ISP will do? ISP will drop this traffic. ISP is going to drop this traffic. Okay. Same way, when this site 2 client will try to communicate with site 1 client, again what will happen? When the traffic will again come at the ISP is going to drop again. Why? Because private networks are not routable. Private IPs are not routable over the internet. Okay. So with the help of a VPN tunnel, what we can do is we can provide LAN to LAN communication. That means the LAN network on the site 1. Okay. The LAN network on the site 1 can communicate with the LAN network on the site 2 as if, okay, they will be communicating with each other as if they are directly connected. Okay, as if they are directly connected, there is no internet in between. Why? Because their traffic will be passing through the tunnel. Okay, there will be a tunnel created here between these two. Okay, there will be a tunnel created, and whatever the traffic is there, that entire traffic will pass through this tunnel itself. That entire traffic will pass through this tunnel in tunnel, and the ISP will not be able to look into the tunnel. According to ISP, there will be a communication going on between, okay, there will be a communication going on between this IP and this IP. So these are public networks, and ISP will allow communication to public networks. Is it clear how the scenario is? Okay. Now, what we will be doing is we will be configuring here IP v1 site to Sorry, VPN. This is the VPN that we will be configuring. Okay. And here, what we will be using is IPsec. And under IPsec, we are using IPv1. Now, if we talk about IPv1, there are two phases in the IPv1, phase 1 and phase 2. Okay, phase 1 and phase 2. Your phase 1 is also known as ISecM, and phase 2 is IPsec. Okay, and in phase 1, we have two modes. One is main mode, and second one is aggressive mode. Okay. In phase 1, we have two modes, main mode and aggressive mode, and phase 2 is quick mode. Phase 2 is quick mode. Okay. Now aggressive mode is not really being used. Always and always main mode is being used. Okay. And in the main mode, we have total 6 message exchange. We talk about your main mode. How many messages are exchanged? 6 messages. And in the aggressive mode, okay, in the aggressive mode, there are 2 messages exchanged. Okay, so when we will configure this VPN, what will happen? Total how many messages will be exchanged? Sorry, not aggressive, quick mode. That is the phase 2, which is quick mode. So in the quick mode, 3 message exchange will be there. Okay, so total of 9 message exchange is going to be there. And if we talk about the default lifetime of your phase 1, so default lifetime of your phase 1 is 24 hours, that is 1 day, and default lifetime for your phase 2 is 1 hour. Okay, default lifetime for your phase 2 is 1 hour. Is it clear? Now, if we talk about the main mode 6 message exchange, so in the main mode 6 messages, message number 1 will go from initiator to responder. Okay, there will be one entity who will be initiating the tunnel setup. So let's say this time we are considering initiator and this side is responder. Okay. So when the first message will be exchanged, this is main mode message number 1. Okay. So in the main mode message number 1, there are 2 things that will be exchanged. That is, here SPI parameters will be exchanged. Then your haggle will be exchanged. Haggle in the sense, there are hashing algorithm, authentication mechanism, dirty element group, encryption algorithm, and lifetime. These things will be exchanged, and they will have a vendor ID payload. Okay, this vendor ID payload, this will check for support for NAT traversal. Okay, this thing it is going to check. Then message number 2 will be from responder to initiator, in which the same parameters will be there. Okay, the same parameters, the haggle, as well as vendor ID payload. Okay, which will check the support for NAT. Then we will have message number 3. In the message number 3, we will have your key exchange payload. Here key exchange, that is dirty element key exchange will happen. Nonce payload will be there, and here again we will have NAT D payload, NAT discovery. That means discovering if there is a translation device available in between. Message number 4 will be same. Okay. Here also key exchange, nonce payload, and NAT D. Then message number 5. Okay. Here there will be nonce is a random value that is sent by the initiator. Okay. So whenever the responder will reply, it will use the same nonce value to indicate that okay, this is not a replay attack. Okay, these packets are not the replay. So to prevent from replay attacks, the nonce is shared. So here identity and authentication will happen. Okay. And same thing, message number 6, identity and authentication. Same thing will happen here also. This is your phase 1. So here what? Phase 1 complete. Then after we will have phase 2. Okay, once phase 1 is negotiated, phase 2 negotiation will happen. Under the phase 2, in the first message, okay, IPsec access will be exchanged. That means again the encryption algorithm, hashing algorithm, okay, the keys, those things will be exchanged along with the nonce payload and all. And in the second message, same parameters will be there. Okay. Here also your IPsec access will be there. Okay. Your key exchange will be there. Your nonce payload will be there. All these things. And then message number 3 is just acknowledgement. This is just for acknowledgement. And here phase 2 complete. Okay. So your phase 2, see these 4 messages. Okay. The first 4 messages. These 4 messages. These are unencrypted. Okay. These 4 messages are unencrypted. After message 4, message number 5, 6, and your phase 2, everything is encrypted. We will not be able to see anything. Okay. These messages, information you will not be able to see. Is that clear? Yeah, right. See, these things in detail you will understand. I think you already have done advanced, right? CCMP advanced is done. There you might have studied about IPsec and weak message exchange. Advanced routing is done, right? Yes or no? Okay. And if not studied, not to worry. You study. What about VPN? You study them and VPN also then. Not much idea. Okay. Have you attended the VPN batch? No. Okay. So might be possible that after NJPS we might start with VPN only. Okay. So that will see according to the next month's schedule. Right now, one VPN is already going on from 2 to 4 p.m. So the overall idea behind your site-to-site VPN is what? That we will provide secure communication from this LAN to another LAN. That means LAN to LAN communication securely over the internet. Okay, over the insecurely. That is what we are going to achieve here. Okay. Now, how we will configure? So VPN configuration in FTD is very simple. Okay. It's very simple configuration. You don't have to remember any commands and all. So Go here, bring up all the devices. This is a VPC only. Fine. This is site 2 client. With one client, site 2 client, internet, site 1 F3. Then we have site 2 F3. Two F3s coming up. Okay, so these two F3s also basic configurations like management interface IPs I have configured. Okay, so what are the IP addresses? The IP address available here is this one is 11 on the site one, and this one is 22. Okay, this is how the IP addresses are there. And this is site 1 FTD. This is site 2 FTD. Okay, you can verify admin 60153 admin 60153. So here if I say to network, here also if I say to network, so you can see here the management IP is 103311 and this side it is 103320. Okay, and they are also integrated with the manager. Okay, so I page to managers. Here also page to managers. Okay, so you can see the managers are like integrated. Okay, and let me go and configure IP address. So this is the internet. IP address is 100.111, 200.111. Meanwhile, on site one client, I'll add IP. Do I have anything for hosting? No. So I'll add IP 10.111, 355.355.355.0, and gateway will be 10.110. The site two client 10.222 and gateway will be 10.210. IP the internet configuration that will be enabled, manipulation family. Then interface is 0 by 0. We are the middle box in the function. No, sir. 0 by 1. IP address is 200.111. That no setup. This is done. Okay. Now we just have to go and configure the firewalls in that PC. Okay. So go to the devices. So we can see FTD site 1 and FTD site 2. So let me go and say edit the interface. So I can see V0 by 0 is inside, V0 by 1 is outside. Okay. So that's when configure the interfaces. So interface is inside, enable the interface, zone is inside. Okay. IP address. So on the inside, I have 10.1.1.10/24. Say okay. Edit and say zone is outside, enable outside IP address. Now on the site one outside IP address is 100.1.1.10. So here I'll say 100.1.10/24. Done. Save this configuration. Then let's start the deployment of this configuration on the FTD site one. And while this FTD site one will get deployed, we will go and deploy the configuration or we will configure the site two. Now let's go to the site two. The inside interface. So inside the interface IP 10.2.2.10 and outside 200.1.1.10. So this is Z0 by 0. Z0 by 0 is inside. Zone is inside. 10.2.2.10. Last 24. And then after outside interface, enable it. This is outside 200.1.1.10. This is by period. Yes. The area. Save it. Done. Save this configuration. So site one deployment is going on. Now, once these deployments will complete, so we will test communication from 10.1.1 to gateway, from 10.2.2 to gateway, and we'll test public to public communication. These three tests we will check. Once everything is okay, then we will go to the VPN configuration. start for activity deploy. If you get it done, site one is stuck. Um, the site two deployment is done, site one is taking some time. So on the site two, let me go and check my interface and the so I can see the IPs are configured, and from the site two client, I can fill the gateway. If I say fill 10.3.3.10, so you can see I have the communication. So this is totally fine. Now let's go for site one. This one is that we might have to redo it. Meanwhile, this is happening. What we can do, I can show you the VPN configuration. See, go to the devices, VPN, and you have to go to the site to site. Okay. In the site to site, you will click on add VPN and add any device. Okay. Here you will name this VPN, roadside, this is site to site VPN. And then IP V1, that's the image. Okay. IP V1 we are using. Node A and node B. So node A is your site one, node B is your site two. So I click on plus here, and then I say that my node A is actually site one. Which interface will be used? Outside interface will be used for uh, VPN tunnel negotiation. Then what are the protected networks? So behind my site one, which network I'm protecting? 10.1.1.0/22. So I'll say this is my inside network that I'm protecting. I'll say okay, this is the network I'm protecting. Okay, done. Then go to this node B. Who is the node B? My site two. Again, site two interfaces outside. Okay, and what is the protected network? So do I have here anything for 10.2.2.0? No. So let's say image site in inside network 10.2.2.0. Here 1.2.2.0/22. Save it. Okay. So object is created. So this is my protected network on the second site and say okay. This is done. Then you can select IP configuration, like what are the pre-shared is your authentication method, SHA, DES that you are using, or else you can use, let's say I want to go secure. So I'll go with the AES 256 algorithm. Okay, with the DH group file and SHA hashing algorithm as well as pre-shared key. This is done. Now pre-shared key also, if you want, you can say that automatic key or manual key, that is up to you. Let's say I want to manually use the key Cisco. This is done. Then I can configure IP set. Uh, in the IP set, right now it is using dash and SHA. So if you want, you can change this one also. Let's say I want to go with the AES 256 and SHA. I don't want to use dash. Say okay. Okay, this is done. These are my phase 2 transform set parameter. Once this is done, let's say okay. This is your VPN configuration done. This is it. This is your site-to-site VPN added. Now all you need to do is what? Deploy it. Okay. So right now I don't want to deploy it. You can wait for site one is taking time. Site one is supposed to be easy. Communication communication is going on. Deployment is taking. But I hope you understood the VPN configuration, how you will configure. Actually, so long time. You guys understood the VPN configuration, right? there's not so much to do here. All you want to do is add VPN, add it, then select your site 1, site 2, and what are their protected networks. That means the networks that you want to protect. Select I1 or I2 based on your requirement, and then relevant parameters you have to select here. That's it. This is all your configuration. Say save, and once you will deploy it, your VPN will be configured. This site 1 is not responding right now. Not canceling also. Yeah, this is stuck and it will take a long time. Okay, I have to do it again. So we'll continue this thing tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So you can configuration will do. That means configuration is done. Just the deployment we have to do. So tomorrow we'll see about VPN, and then we will see about your flex config. Okay. All right, guys. Then have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, let's good night. Bye.